Hi guys, it's Amy and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so much for clicking on my video to spend time with me. I always appreciate it when you're here. So as many of you know, I just had a vendor event a few days ago and today's Wednesday. It was on Saturday. The car is still packed with all my stuff. I have not unloaded my car yet. I've been super duper busy. I mean, obviously, you know, you want to do that when you get home from the event, but I was pooped, and so I came home and just kind of I didn't go to sleep, but you would have thought I was a zombie or something. So then Sunday, I was really busy with an event that I actually attended, an expo, a reptile expo. And I guess if you don't care too much about reptiles, you could go ahead and fast forward to whatever time I'm putting on the screen right now to talk about yarny stuff. But I was really excited about this expo. As some of you may know, I have corn snakes, and I've actually got another channel as well that started out as my personal channel before I got my crochet channel, and that's just called Amy Loves because I changed the name so many times for different reasons. You know, I started out with just stuff with my chickens and my goats. I was filming and putting stuff up there, and then I would film. My son was in a lot of band and choir events and things like that, and so I started putting those up so my sister could see. I wasn't always successful uploading to Facebook as easily as it was to upload to YouTube and then just tell her to go watch that. So I do have another channel, and I'll put that down below. And so I've, you know, added my corn snakes to videos that I put on there, and I think actually after doing this channel, I am going to be a little bit more active with some corn snake stuff. So that's exciting for me because up to now I've just kind of put little snippets up there. So Sunday, it was the NARBC, the National American Breeders Reptile Association, or whatever letters it goes. I messed that all up. But anyway, some very big YouTubers were going to be there. They're called Snake Discovery, if any of you know about them. Emily and Ed, they do quite a bit of educational things before they had this YouTube channel, I guess, and now they're growing and growing and growing. And so they were going to be in town, so I got to go and kind of fangirl on them a little bit. I talked to Ed, so that was fun. And Emily had a huge line waiting to talk to her. She's really good about talking to the kids, and she gets them all to dress up in something special so that they can all be wearing the same thing or whatever. So a lot of fun for that. But the other part about this, me going to this expo on on Sunday, was that my husband came along with me. And normally I just go to those things by myself because he's not as interested at all. And he always says, we hate people. So we don't like to go to crowded events like that. But I knew that Ed and Emily were going to be there, and so I really wanted to go check it out and just kind of view on them a little bit, I guess. The exciting part for me was that somebody I didn't even know was going to be there, Dav Kaufman. He's super big in the reptile industry and YouTube stuff anyway. And I waved at him and he waved at me, and that was really cool. So that's kind of been my little highlight of the event, besides the fact that my husband went with me. So you know, it's really easy in a marriage to, you like your stuff and he likes his stuff, or you know, your partners or whatever, and you do your own thing. But it's really important to kind of put up with each other's things sometimes, I think, to share those events with. Now I would have you know, taken a different approach to this event had he not been with me, but he was, and that was fantastic. So that was like a full day, you know, because we go and we have lunch, and they had a coffee company there. I'll put a little link in the description down below. That was some really delicious coffee. So that was my Saturday, or my Sunday. After my busy Saturday, I had my busy Sunday, and then yesterday I both worked and had little bits. So I wasn't able to get any filming done until today, which is Wednesday, and this video is supposed to be up tomorrow, which is Thursday. And so I kind of have to remember now a little bit back to the event and to be able to tell you what was going on. First, I'm going to put in some clips of, you may remember Stephanie, my neighbor, came over and asked me to finish a scarf. And I was working on another hat and scarf set at the time, so I'll include those at the front of all of the video. And then you'll see a beautiful sunset as we headed out on Friday night after, all of my little ends that I needed to tie up were written down on a list of things that we needed to go take care of Friday night. And so we went to do that. And as we were driving out, the sun was setting and it was beautiful. And then you'll see what happens from there. So I'll go ahead and end my narration now, and you can just see the clips of the event so that you can see, how that went. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, so for the most part, my feelings about it was that I'm really happy for the amount of people that came, the ratio of amount of people that came to those that stopped at my table to either talk to me or purchase some things. Yes, I sold some things. So I was super excited about that. And it was just a good day overall, I guess. So let me double check my notes really quick. I talked about that. Just that I think that my momentum is slowed. There was so much going on for me to get ready for this event, that I didn't really think ahead to have another event set up, because now I'm like exhausted from all of that. And I always liken it to, I use this scenario or this idea, I guess, when you're playing jump rope and you're waiting to jump in, and the rope's going and the rope's going, and you got to jump in. And so that's kind of like where I am for the following vendor event. I know I've got to get it going, and once I'm in there, I'm jumping rope, I'm doing good, but I'm trying to find that right one. Previous vendor events that I've done have been like a $10 or a $20 space rental. This one was $30, so I was kind of branching out a little bit. And the ones that I've been finding for the holidays coming up are either $70 or $100. And that's so far out my scope, I can't even explain it. So I don't know if I'm going to find another one before the end of the year. I keep talking about getting on to Facebook Marketplace or whatever. That can be so dangerous. So I really don't want to do that if I don't have to. Going on to Etsy, I don't quite feel like what I've got going is quite Etsy level yet. So there's a whole lot of deciding to be done, and that's the tough part for me. I would rather have a list of projects and just get in there and crunch them out. But this time in between where you have to decide and figure out, look at what's going on, and that's when I run into issues. Oh, the other thing that I'm going to go ahead and mention from the vendor event was that, when there's some editing to be done, like I had my main table and I had some blankets out, and then I had totes that were overflow of those. I didn't want all of them out because it was too much, but I did have some overflow. So if someone was looking at a large blanket or at a blanket, I could say, oh, I do have some others if you're looking for something in that, that size. And then I also had a table or a rack that was for discounted items, and I actually sold a discounted item. So when you're thinking about editing and what you're going to put out next time and what you're not going to put out, somebody might say, well, don't do the overflow, but I sold from the overflow. And don't do the discount rack. Well, I sold from the discount rack. So there was like one from each kind of thing that did sell. So it's a little bit harder for me to decide where the editing is going to be for the next one. But each new one is going to be a new atmosphere, unless you do the same event over and over. Each one is going to be a different demographic. And the lady that was next to me is from a product line. And so as a vendor of a homemade item or handmade item and a vendor of a product line item, it was very interesting. We had a very, very nice day talking to each other, I think. Well, at least from my point of view, and she said the same. So something from each section. So I'll have to decide. I mentioned in my video before the vendor event that I might get into just American Girl doll and Barbie doll dresses and outfits and things like that, because you have to kind of find a niche if you're going to sell on something like Etsy, or even at events like this where I just have a few dolls and a few dresses on my table, and less is better, one of those kind of things. So I'll have to kind of decide how I'm going to balance everything, because what this channel is all about, what I come to you with, is as many different ideas as I can come up with. I want to think outside the box with what I'm sharing with you guys. We got Fiber Spider, we got, Crystal, we've got Jennifer, or, Cinnamon Stitches. We've got so many different fiber producing people out there that they all might be showing something new and different and great, but I'm going to dig way over here in this book and try to find something to share with you, something that's totally not on their radar, so that I can bring some value to my channel. And so now, you know, if I have to kind of think about my crochet being a business, then I don't make one of everything, because then that looks like a garage sale kind of thing when you try to sell it at a vendor event. So you're supposed to make 1 or 2 or 3 things and just make a whole bunch of those. I'm trying to find some place in the middle to be. So I still, my heart in this channel will not change, but I have to try to balance out, if I want to crochet for a business or as a business, how that is going to kind of merge into a happy place. So, you know, there's a whole lot of energy and emotion that it takes to get into a vendor event, and without another one right on its back end for me just to keep on going. Like she pulled up her phone, my new vendor lady next to me, friend, and she's like, oh, here's this one that's about, you know, an hour and a half drive from here. Are you willing to go there? Not yet. Like, so finding a lineup of some, I think, is going to be really important if I'm going to keep that momentum going and jump into that jump rope game, right? So I think that's all I've got to actually speak about with you today. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys every time. You know, I do feel the love. You keep me on point. You keep me focused on things that I need to bring to you, because it makes me happy. And so I'm going to keep on keeping on, and I hope you enjoy the little snippets from the vendor event. And if you have a chance to, or you like to, go ahead and check out my other channel for my corn snake information. I mean, it's not information, it's just my pets. It's just my pets, but I love them to death, and I'm like a mom that wants to take a million pictures of them. So all right, guys, thank you so much. Stick around for the vendor event clips, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye. The colors in the house were not coming out right, but this is perfect. This is exactly what the colors look like. It's called Apple Orchard, and I absolutely love it. This stitch is called the Stormy Winters. My brain is mush right now. I'll have to look it up. But I finished it a couple of weeks ago when I was working. I happened to be working on this when Stephanie came to me and asked me to work on her scarf. So I'll post that link down below. Alrighty, here is Stephanie's finished scarf. I'll be giving it to her tonight. And this is a really easy stitch I did. I've actually got a tutorial on this, and I used Arabella yarn from the Hobby Lobby haul. But I just wanted to show you guys how pretty some of this marbling is. These colors are just gorgeous. So good eye, Stephanie. Good eye. I love this yarn. So I connected it in my video. I connected it into a cowl, but I wanted to show you what I did on this one to make it a scarf. This is the starting chain where you get your boxes going. But if you don't connect it in a cowl, then your top layer is just going to have the kind of scalloped boxes across the top. So I kind of wanted to make a little fake chain so it would look somewhat similar. So when I got over here on my last, I ended with my last single crochet, I chained 4, and then I did a slip stitch back loop only in the last double crochet and in the chain that's going to be in that space. And then I did a chain 2, and then I did another 2 slip stitch back loop only into the top of where the box is, just to kind of make it look like it's got a chain, so it kind of looks a little bit closer to this than just having the boxes by themselves. But go ahead and just play with that and see if you like it. If you're making a scarf like that has a top that, needs a fake chain. Good morning, everybody. I am headed to the event. I am nervous because we got snow last night, and some people just, hibernate when the snow comes out like this. So hopefully, with it being an indoor event, people still come out. I did have to get one more tote in my car than I expected, than I had planned on, but otherwise I am packed to the gills. So I'll see you in a little bit. Wish me luck. Thanks. Bye. I hope you can hear me. It's kind of loud in here. It's not too big of a room, and they've got us kind of packed in here. So I think it's a great little venue. I'm not up against the wall like I thought I was, so I'm kind of trying to figure myself out. But there's a lot of people here despite the snow, and it's still early. It took me a long time to get set up, so now I can finally sit down and drink my coffee and have my cereal bar and get ready for the day. So my camera just fell off the shelf, and so I was just going to say wish me luck. Thanks, bye. Oh my gosh, I just sold a hat for $10. I'm so excited. The day is on, let's go. All right, well, I ran into somebody that I used to work with, and so that was really, really wonderful for both of us. We were so happy to see each other. And another lady came and started chit-chatting with me, and I thought that was really good, but she was just soliciting her beef sales. So, still just plugging along, trying to stir up some business, smiling at everybody. Alrighty, folks. I don't know that I could get any more discouraged after that. I had somebody looking at my hats, and her friend came over and said, "Look at these hats over here, they're better," and pulled her friend away from mine and went and looked at those. So, yay.